what are you bringing us next? Like,
I don't believe in sneak peeks or letting folks know what you're doing. That like you'll see. Like it's bad enough these stupid ass f***ing kids leak stages and set lists and leak music because no one can wait anymore, and they
yeah.
steal and invade privacy and sell it. But with that said, we just gotta wait.
Chromakopia.
In an industry where release dates are constantly inaccurate and artists are always disappearing, Tyler, the creator, has been a breath of fresh air. Whether he is dropping music, creating high-end fashion collections, running his own festival, or headlining another one, Tyler has never really stepped out of the spotlight. And with his most recent project, Chromakopia, he took the exact same direct approach, releasing this album only 2 weeks after its announcement. In this video, I will be going over the insanely unique rollout of Chromakopia and what you can learn from it as an artist. On a random Wednesday morning in the middle of October, nobody saw an album announcement from Tyler, the creator, coming. The video titled Saint Chroma is a snippet of the intro record on the album, and it gives us a first peek into the world of Chromakopia. Using a music video and snippet was a perfect way to introduce the album to the world. Some artists just post the cover art with the title, or sometimes just the title, and then they wait like 5 months before we hear anything about it. Please do not do this. Tyler is a great example of what to do. He already gives the fans so much to work off of and theorize about. What does Chromakopia mean? Why is he wearing a mask? Who are these people he just put into the container and blew up? No, they are not KSI or Frank Ocean. This video went crazy on social media, and the quality of it made it extremely shareable. As an artist, you need to realize that attaching a video to your song opens it up to being so much more than just an audio. This video alone inspired so many artists to do their own renditions of it, whether it be through animation, graphic design, cinematography, or other forms of media. Also, when you create cool visuals, people will more likely share your music as the brand of your audio increases in likability. Look at a smaller artist like my bro Adam Fadi. Although his follower count is small, he gets constant engagement from his fans because of the way he presents music. If you want people to share your art, you need to make something that, well, put simply, looks cool. People are a lot more likely to repost a cool music video than a straight up promotional piece, as they are getting a lot more value than is expected to be given back to the artist. Their eyes and ears are being pleased, and in return, you get engagement. The following day, Tyler confirmed that the title of the album was Chromakopia, and to almost everyone's surprise, it would be releasing in only 11 days, and on a Monday at 6 a.m.? This entire rollout is a masterclass on breaking rules with purpose. Usually artists have a pretty lengthy rollout, which can help build hype even more, like with the Weeknd's project Hurry Up Tomorrow, spanning over 2 months with no sign of a release date, but has constantly held concerts, dropped singles, and videos that were all related to the album. However, stretching out a rollout too long while also barely dropping new content related to the project can go wrong. Like with Playboi Carti's I Am Music, where lots of fans now believe he completely messed up the rollout by not releasing the album after he released like 5 music videos in the span of a few months. As now the focus is shifted to other projects, and he has just been doing features and festival performances with no signs of an album, besides some box sets, which will ship no later than March 2025. What happened to 2024 music? What about this strange release date and time? Why did Tyler break the rule of dropping music on a midnight on Friday? Well, first of all, it's not a hard set rule for everyone, but more of a tradition in the music industry. Some artists have the freedom to drop whenever they want, so why on a Friday? As a matter of fact, music used to be released on Tuesdays, at least in America. There are many theories as to why this happened. Some believe it was because that's when a lot of people have their payday, so album sales would be higher, or that there is better performance over the weekend than on the weekday because people have more time, which all may be true, but the catalyst that originally triggered the conversation of Friday releases was Beyonce's surprise drop album on Friday, December 13th, 2013. So, thank you, Beyonce. According to a statement from the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry, IFPI for short, which represents labels worldwide, a study found that a majority of consumers who bother to care which day new music comes out prefer to hear it on Fridays and Saturdays. Also, setting a global release day would mean that different countries all get the same music at the same time. When America would release on Tuesday and other countries would release on other days, some parts of the world would get music before others, and with digital music consumption on the rise, this would cause a problem of piracy as well as inaccurate chart statistics. So why did Tyler go against this global release date rule? Well, when Tyler breaks a rule, he does it with a purpose. And on his most recent interview with Nardwuar at Camp Flogna, almost a year before the announcement of this album, when asked anything else you want to add to the people at all, Tyler had this to say.
I think we should put music out again on Tuesdays instead of Fridays for some reasons. I know people think because of the weekend they could listen to stuff and streams go up, and the streaming people are like, oh, streams go up on the weekend, but I think it's a lot of passive listening at parties, or people get the time to go to the gym, so they're not really listening. And people on the weekends, they want to chill and just hang out, so they're not really listening. But I think if you put it out during the week, man, that commute to work or that commute to school or just whatever that is, you really have that hour or 30 minutes in it to really dive in and really listen, because once that's over, you got to get to work, And I think when that time is shorter, kind of like procrastination, you get more done, even with listening. And to work on an album for so long and put so much energy to it, and for it to be released at midnight, and I'm talking about America because this is where for it to be released at midnight just seems so disrespectful. Like, people are asleep on the East Coast for the most part, and people are going to sleep on the West, and that's when you decide to release music. Like, I think it coming out in the morning would just make more sense. But that's just me personally.
Not only did he want to break this industry repetitive cycle, but the main reasoning behind this choice was because of the way music is being consumed. In recent years, Tyler has been heavily critical of modern-day music consumerism and producerism, which I'll get more into later. While releasing on Friday is more beneficial monetarily, artistically, Tyler saw the pros heavily outweigh the cons for releasing on a Monday, as people will be able to digest the album in a more natural way. And trust me, as far as charting, releasing on a Monday could have only helped him with the numbers we are seeing. With only a week left to release, you would expect a little more activity from Tyler, but after the 7 days out mark, it was full steam ahead. On October 21st, he dropped the video and full song on streaming platforms for Noid. This is where we really get to feel out the sound of Chromakopia for the first time. Also, by having an official song on all social media platforms, it makes the whole album more shareable, as people now have an official new Tyler song that they can actually post. In the upcoming days, Tyler will release a couple more videos showcasing snippets from the album, as well as having a Chromakopia themed video for his world tour announcement. The constant reminders of even the colors of this album help to build hype and familiarity to the project. This will not only make more people want to purchase physical items to associate with Chromakopia, but also helps audiences build a deeper connection to it because they saw it all come to fruition. The artistic direction in these videos is honestly beautiful and showcases his years of experience directing his own music videos. They all really feel like scenes from a Wes Anderson-style war movie, a director he takes inspiration from in a lot of his works. To further deepen this connection between fans' world and the album's world, Tyler decided to put this fictional world into ours. A truck carrying the cargo container in the St. Chroma video drove around the country, selling merch for the album and occasionally supporting local food businesses in the area the trucks were at. This created more social media buzz because people got to stand next to the most iconic part of the storyline that they were so connected to. It also was just really cool to see a bunch of Tyler fans all meet in different spots around the world, all bonding over this shared interest. A few days before release, Tyler announced two things. One, an album listening party the night before release. He made it extremely clear that he would not be singing any songs and would only be lip syncing them. Even for what he was doing, this was still very cheap, and he definitely lost money on this, at least in the short run. But a common theme throughout this rollout and throughout his entire artistic career is Tyler's main focuses has always been about creating art and connecting people. The event ended up building a lot more hype for the album, but I believe Tyler held this event more as a way for fans to once again bond a deeper connection to Chromakopia because of his passion for this art form. He wanted the people to connect to it, which has shown a lot more post-release as he asks people to write entire paragraphs as to why they like certain songs and what they made them feel. Similar to a brand, he wanted Chromakopia to not just be an album, but a story, an environment, and a feeling. This is what I believe to be the main reason for all this world building sonically and visually. Oh yeah, and the other thing he announced was no features. What the fuck? Chromakopia was officially released, and while I could go full Fantano here talking about my thoughts on the album, I'm gonna just say for now, it would be a banger if you Frank Ocean fans would get out of my ear talking about where he was on the album. I get it though, because after I heard Baby Keem's singular on Like Him, I was a little mad too. At that point, bro, don't even get featured on the album, because you gotta be trolling. All jokes aside though, this was an amazing album, and it will only get better with time. I can see years from now we'll be looking back on this album, and it will hold up even better than release day. I also think it will be an extremely influential album, not just for its audible artistry, but its visual artistry as well. As an artist, you choose when to start and stop doing your promotion. Some prefer more post-promo, some prefer more pre-promo, and some post it one time on their story and give up.
And you mean to tell me that you're going to be passive with your own and just put it on your story once? Are you fucking crazy, bro? I'm still promoting my album that came out in June. It's a year out, and I'm still out here like, call me if you get lost, like,
Don't post it one time on your story and give up. Tyler seemed to lean more post-promo. After Chromakopia dropped, he continued to do these $5 shows, but this time he performed the song. He called them 30 minutes of Chromakopia because, well, he performed 30 minutes of the album. One of the best highlights of this release was Tyler's activeness on social media. When posting the album had dropped, he commented, "Also articulate why something stuck with you. I want the paragraph." He then proceeded to not only like certain comments, but post them on his stories. This completely lines up with what Tyler said in an interview with Converse a couple years prior.
Even the conversation of music now has changed. People just say something's mid, but they can't articulate why they don't like it. They don't have the vocabulary or the energy or the actual care. People don't even mostly talk about why they love they actually like either. And I'm hoping we get back to a point where when you do open your mouth, it is because you truly give a fuck about it, whether you dislike it or you truly love it.
He also interacted with fan art, liking posts and commenting. Shout out Cover Art Matters on Insta for getting the Tyler cosign. Some of these posts he even found organically, like the Cover Art Matters one, because he wasn't even tagged in that one, which means he would just be scrolling sometimes and interact with the fans' creations. Quite possibly the actual best thing he did post Rollout was with popular father-son music reactors Turn the Tables. The two posted a snippet of their reaction to Chromakopia on Instagram, stating in the caption the full video was blocked on YouTube. Tyler saw this and commented, "Gonna make sure the block gets lifted, man. Hit my squad up early this AM." And it got lifted. Labels need to stop blocking YouTube reaction videos because it's really just hurting them in the long run, as fans can be the best promoters. Kendrick Lamar and his team did a similar thing for Not Like Us, and the Drake-Kendrick beef reaction videos are still some of the best reaction videos out. However, Tyler wasn't just seeing fans as promoters, but was more focused on just sharing different people's reactions to this project. This is just another example of him bringing the people together over Chromakopia. You could tell Tyler really cared about what people felt emotionally with this album. He wanted the people to be heard, and it's shown through his much more excessive social media interaction, as Chromakopia is definitely his most personal project. He has actually confirmed this is why he wears the mask, so he feels more comfortable telling these vulnerable stories. The stories he shared resonated with a lot of people, and Tyler wants to hear the connections people are making to this music. We really do need to see this in the industry more. It's amazing when a fan can connect with an artist's art, while that artist connects to the fan's connection. The Chromakopia promotional material is most likely far from over, and as far as we know, it could just be getting started. But from what we've seen so far, it has succeeded tremendously. But for a release so unorthodox, why did it work? For a rollout so distinct, it worked extremely well. But why? And if it was so successful, why aren't other artists doing the same? Well, let's answer both. There are two main reasons why this rollout was so successful, besides the fact that the music was, well, really good. One, it was refreshing. Having an album release date not only be quick, but also accurate is unfortunately not so common anymore.
Oh my God, I'm getting more y'all want me to try the album this year or January?
Most Tyler fans were probably expecting a leak as their first info of an album, but contrary to popular prediction, the first thing we heard about this album was from Tyler. One of the reasons he was able to prevent leaks was because everything was written, produced, and performed by him. Now, of course, he had features and other people helped with this album, but by running a tighter ship with fellow artists that understand the struggles of getting their music leaked, he was able to keep all this info from the public. But we also have to consider he probably had a very big crew for these music videos. I mean, look at all these actors, and not even to mention everybody behind the scenes. So there is always the risk of somebody leaking something, but that's a risk you have to be willing to take when working on something at this magnitude with that many fans. And you won't have to worry about it as much if you don't make enemies. But even after we did hear something from Tyler, we didn't have to wait months more for an album. It was a quick rollout, which is also not very common. It was also very simple, which was another reason why it worked so well. With a shorter rollout, of course, comes less time to build up a very detailed story, but most of the storytelling was done through the music itself. If we look at an artist like The Weeknd, there are many reasons as to why his rollout is taking longer, but one is because of the much more complex stories he likes to tell visually to set the mood for his works. Tyler is much more abstract, having symbolism play a major role in his storytelling, letting the fans theorize on what different color elements or wardrobe decisions could represent. If you think about it, there are really only 4 key elements in Chromakopia. The extremely distinct shades of green, yes, even this is green, I will stand by that. The shipping container, the military references, and Saint Chroma. These were 4 things that were reused and recycled in most of the visuals and events for this project, some having all 4, and some only having a couple. This made it very easy to follow, and like I said earlier, build a very specific brand for this album. So if the strategy worked so well, why haven't other artists done it? Well, there are so many different possibilities as to why this happened. One of the most common being underestimating the process of an album release. Some artists jump the gun, making announcements, posting visuals without the entire album process finished. Tyler obviously had every single promotional asset ready to be uploaded. I mean, music videos can sometimes take months to plan from pre to post production. Also, you must book events months in advance, especially with bigger venues like the Intuit Dome. So for these listening parties, he was extremely prepared. So yeah, due to the amount of pre-prep he had to do before any sort of hint at an album, this strategy really is just harder. And of course, there are an infinite amount of unforeseen circumstances as to why rollouts take longer than they should. And it seems like Kanye has had a lot of these, like a bee being in the studio.
Ain't no motherfucking game, man. It's like 8 hours left to this shit. No chuckling and nothing, no kind of way. All right, play off the grid. We off the grid.
But simply put, what Tyler did with this rollout was hard. He needed a group of visionaries he could not just trust creatively, but also personally. He created a world that was not just simple, but iconic. And he was not only punctual with this rollout, but extremely precise in how he wanted to build this world. Small and big artists watching this, take notes, because Tyler has created a masterclass of a rollout. He approached this release like a businessman would. He saw issues in an industry that he was passionate about, spoke out about these issues, and proceeded to act upon these statements by creating art in a way that supported his own beliefs. So do your own thing, experiment, try what others aren't, because sticking out like a sore thumb may be better than being just another finger. Thanks for watching and keep evolving.